Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the new format of the Gamers Watch podcast. You are joined again by Harry and...
Shaun.
Now, Shaun.
Yes.
We have to give the answers, don't we, to Game in 60 Seconds.
We do indeed.
So should we just run through quickly, for the people that weren't listening last week, which if you weren't, why weren't you? You should be. The questions that we gave. So my one was that turn on the racetrack. He's brilliant, isn't he? And Shaun, what was yours?
Mine was, it's a nasty break, but in time, the cast will remedy it.
So that one I feel is a bit more obvious than my one, because again, my one is just, what is Harry thinking?
Pretty much.
So Shaun, do you want to give the answers for both of them?
Yeah, I'll go with yours first, I guess. Apex Legends.
Now, if you don't understand that, an Apex is a part of a turn in a racetrack, and he's a great bloke. He's a legend. So, Apex Legends. So, if you got that one, well done, because even I didn't get that one, to be fair.
And you made
it. It was my own one, and I made it. Shaun, what was yours?
Mine was Quantum Break, which...
There we go.
I kind of gave it away because I said break.
Because you said the name of the game and the people that made the game.
I said Remedy in it, which was made by Remedy. Time, that was also in it. And I said cast because it's got live action sequences.
Yeah, but, you know, better than what's Harry thinking of this week. So
better than
I'll give you that.
What was it? That shoe's a bit bright.
That shoe's a bit bright. No, that shoe's not very bright. Dark Souls.
Oh, yeah.
Now, this week's Game in 60 Seconds, they've been passed on to us from a listener. So, again, for like the 9th time, Joe Granell, Retro Joe, he's passed on a couple of Game in 60 Seconds. Now, Shaun, do you want to go ahead and say the first Game in 60 Seconds?
Yeah, the one that I've got here is Grandpa Simpson's Great Adventure.
So, Grandpa Simpson's Great Adventure.
Yeah.
And my Game in 60 Seconds this week is, he did all right on that test last night. He did all right on that test last night. So if you can get both of those, again, you don't win anything, but tweet us at GamersWatchCrew because we still haven't got our Twitter back.
The saga continues.
The saga continues. Spamgate21.
Fuck Twitter.
Continues on. So yeah, do give us a tweet. Let us know if you know both of those. If you knew both of last week's and you know this week's too, get a fucking life. Christ.
And also send us in ones because
really.
we're running out of ideas.
Yeah, send us new ones because we had to get other people to give us these ones.
We're having to sit looking like fucking mathematicians trying to figure out how to just turn a game title into a riddle.
I know, it's really not very good, is it? Now, Shaun, do you want to talk us through what we're going to be looking at first today?
Yes. First, we've got the community topic, which was the best soundtracks for a game of all time ever. But not just soundtracks in general, like best original soundtracks. So no licensed
so not
soundtracks.
Licensed, yeah.
Yeah. So no Guitar Hero or Tony Hawk's.
GTA.
Or GTA. Yeah. But we had, I think there was actually the most engaged topic we've had so far.
Yeah, we got some really good responses from these. I mean, first of all, I think we should go through our personal favourites.
Okay.
And mine has actually changed since
two.
I made the comment on Facebook. You've got two.
I've got an old game and a new game.
I've also got an old game and a new game. So
okay, fair enough.
You say your old game first.
Okay, Crash to Insanity.
Fair enough.
And that's because...
I mean, I've not played it, but...
It's the strangest soundtrack I think I've ever heard in a game, but also some of the tunes get in your head. So basically, the entire soundtrack is made by a cappella group, and it's all voices and not, like, instruments.
Oh, wow. So, like NHL Blitz?
Sort of, but not like the sound effects, the actual soundtrack. So like
the actual music.
Yeah, the music that you listen to while going through the levels is a cappella group, and it's them using their voices. And it's amazing. I'll have to send you one of the songs. Like, I've never seen anything like that for a soundtrack in a game, especially like a sort of bigger budgeted game like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds awesome.
And also, I love Crash Bandicoot, so that's obvious.
There we go. Well, yeah, it's your favourite ever.
It's not going to be an episode if Crash Bandicoot don't get mentioned.
I know, which as an Xbox podcast is great.
He's multi-platform now, it's allowed.
Oh, he is, isn't he? Yeah, fair enough. So I say old game, but it came out, I think, a decade ago now, is Bastion.
Yeah.
So absolutely love the Bastion soundtrack. It works so well with the narration over the top. I found the playlist on Spotify and didn't realise that the narrator is actually on the soundtrack on Spotify, so it gave me a few flashbacks. There is one song specifically that I think you know what song it is.
It's out of two because they're my two favourite ones as well.
Build That Wall.
Yeah, and the other one for me was... I always forget what it's called. Is it Set in Sail or Mother Set Sail or something? I'm going to quickly look at
Mother Set Sail, yeah. So, Build That Wall is a game that... a song that is at a very seminal moment of the game, that you get to a point where you find out what's been happening in the world of Bastion, and it's just a very poignant tune. And really, it's just a great song. And overall, the soundtrack to Bastion is one of the reasons why I love Bastion so much, and I really genuinely can't wait to play Hades, and I really hope that that game comes to the Xbox soon, because I can't wait to play it. But for me, Bastion is one of the greatest soundtracks
I'd agree.
For any game that I've ever played.
So
there are the obvious games, people will say like Mario 64, Legend of Zelda, they're the Final Fantasy 7s, stuff like that are great soundtracks, but there's something about the Bastion soundtrack. It's a soundtrack from a game that I didn't expect it to be anywhere near as good as it was, and it really did bring it to another level. You take the soundtrack out of Final Fantasy 7, it's still a great game. You take the soundtrack out of Ocarina of Time, and it's still a great game. But there's something about the soundtrack of Bastion that it only works in that game. So that's why I picked it.
Fair enough. I'd agree with that.
What's your new game?
You ready for this?
Oh, God.
Desperados 3. I'm sorry, but you cannot say anything about the soundtrack, even if you hate.
I don't want to say anything
itself.
about Desperados 3.
Wild West music, it's coming back.
Okay.
With sea shanties, I'm going to mix them. Wild shanties.
Wild sea shanties.
Wild shanties or Sea West.
Fair enough. Sea West.
Wild shanties then, and it'll be all bearded pirates singing Wild West songs.
Christ.
Or will it be Wild West people singing sea
It'll
shanties?
be Will Smith singing Wild West sea shanties. Oh, man. So, Desperados 3 is your favourite.
Do you think he'll do like a Heskey where we can pay him 50 quid to do that?
I think he might be a bit more expensive.
He's not quite career over stage yet.
Not quite there, no.
Okay.
But has he ever scored a goal for England? Because Emil Heskey scored 9. So.
Well, he's American for a start, so.
Well, there is that. Shut up. My modern favourite soundtrack to a game is a game I've already talked about, and it's a game that I really want you to play anyway, Shaun. Can you guess what it is?
What you already talked about as in like last episode, or?
Last episode, I wanted you to play it, and then I said no.
Oh,
I talked about it in the episode
Zero.
before.
Yeah.
Katana Zero. Oh my god.
I think it was that, and what was the other game that gave us the idea of doing the best soundtracks?
I can't remember now. The Medium.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, The Medium, because it's obviously the soundtrack of The Medium is by the same producer that made the soundtrack for the Silent Hill games. But yeah, Katana Zero has one of the best synth soundtracks pretty much of all time in a game. And I just want to piggyback this because we're recording this on the 23rd of February. Daft Punk split up yesterday and I'm gutted.
I saw that this morning when I was on my way to work.
I am properly gutted. So I've been listening to Daft Punk all day. And yeah, I'm really upset. So yeah, Katana Zero is just phenomenal. And even if you don't play the game, listen to the soundtrack because it slaps. It's fucking good.
It slaps, does it?
It slaps. It bops. Man, it's an absolute jive.
Okay.
There we go.
Those are words.
So, they are words, mate. They're all the words. So, should we go through a few of the community picks? Because I feel like we've just spoken for about 10 minutes about just us, like we normally do.
Well, we have. That's because we're the people here. We're important. Oh, I just saw one of the picks, though, that I kind of agree with.
Did you just say that our audience aren't important?
I said we're more important.
Because if you say that, I totally agree. So, should we go through some of the games on there, then?
For a big game, Mass Effect 2, I'd say. The Mass Effect trilogy in general has some of my favourite soundtrack music. Especially, there was Mass Effect 3, this one particular song. I can't remember what it's called, but I showed you it a few weeks ago now when you showed me the piano version of the Legend of Zelda playlist.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of one of the songs of Mass Effect. But, I want Mass Effect. Just talking about it, I can't wait for the remaster because I get to hear all that again as well. But
now there is another game that I've seen in here, and I want to mention it because it was also a game on Game Pass that I've been playing that I will also be speaking about a little bit later, and I did also speak about in the last episode, and it's NieR Automata, which is just a great game anyway. But I want to talk a little bit further about NieR Automata later. But there is a song in it specifically. There's a ballerina character in it, a giant robotic mechanized ballerina in a theme park run by demonic robots.
Right.
And when this song comes on, it's like this crescendo to a boss battle, and every time like the drums hit, bombs are released, and every time like the harps play, lasers come out. So it's this like symphony orchestra playing, but also it's giving you clues to how to evade and what you need to do, and the sort of the combat mechanisms tied in to the music itself that works perfectly and effortlessly. So I did want to give a shout out to NieR Automata that Wesley Veal on the Facebook page did mention.
Fair enough. I do like games where they sort of synchronize the audio with the beats of the level design.
Honestly, it worked so well in NieR Automata. And when you play it, you'll know the exact bit.
Yeah, it's why I love the new Sackboy Big Adventure game, because basically every song in that game, the levels are designed around them, but they're not original. Yeah. They're like licensed ones, but it's so good.
Yeah, yeah.
It just gets you in the rhythm more.
What were some of the others you saw on there, Shaun?
I saw Valiant Hearts, and I haven't heard of that game in quite a while. I loved it. It's the
that's the World War I side scroller.
Yeah, by Ubisoft, or published by Ubisoft. I can't remember if they actually made it or not. But
no, they published.
But that was such a good game, and I forgot about the soundtrack. I must admit,
there is just one other song just before we move on to sort of the Game Pass or Play segment. Did you ever play Metal Gear Solid 3?
Yes, but on the 3DS. That was the first time I played it.
Right, so there is a scene, I don't know if it's in the 3DS version, but it's the ladder scene. Basically, you walk up, you climb up a ladder, and it lasts, I think, something like 6 minutes. Just you going up this ladder. And as you're going up the ladder, this song, literally just called The Ladder, plays. And it's this, it's this crescendo of emotions. Metal Gear Solid 3 is one of the greatest espionage games ever made. And you're going to fight Big Boss, and you're going up this ladder, and the music is playing, sort of like setting the scene, but it just doesn't stop, and you can just get this sense of absolute awe of the size of like the accomplishment that you've got to so far. So yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, the ladder scene, is one of the best gameplay / soundtrack amalgamations really ever. So yeah, big thumbs up to that one. We'll go through a few others very quickly. Doom 2016, amazing soundtrack.
Yep.
Spider-Man 2018, a lot of people mentions, as well as Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 15, and also the Final Fantasy 7 remake were mentioned as well. Akira Yamaoka, who, if I butchered your name, I'm sorry. He was the sound director for Silent Hill and also The Medium. So really anything that he produces is great. But yeah, we got some really good answers. We also had a game that I'd never heard of called Gungeon. Never heard of that before. And that was a lovely soundtrack. I did give that a listen as well. And that was a lovely, really adventurous soundtrack. So I like that too.
I've just seen one that I didn't actually catch when I was going through it before that I feel needs to be said. The Conker's Bad Fur Day Great Mighty Pooh song. I love that song.
That is a great song.
Oh, good old Red.
Thank you very much, Johnny, for mentioning that, because we would not have said that.
I remember the days of singing that in secondary school.
That's a cracking
with
entry.
Taru.
So thank you to everybody who put your suggestions forward. We had some really good trips down memory lane. And as always, it's just great when people sort of interact with us. It's nice to know that we have people listening. So anything that you want us to cover or anything that you want us to talk about, do give us a tweet. Gamers Watch Crew, Gamers Watch Podcast on Facebook and Instagram, and just let us know what you want us to talk about. Now, what we are going to talk about next was again decided by the audience. It was our wildcard entry for Game Pass or Play.
Yeah.
Do you want to... Because I know that you're not a big fan of roguelikes or of Bulletstorm games, so do you want to give your thoughts first?
I can sum up, I think, my thoughts very well and very quickly, if you want.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it was good fun for the first 2 hours, and then when I realised I'm doing the exact same fucking thing for the next 12 hours, I was like, nah, done. Yeah,
so I played it for, I think, 6 hours is my playtime. How many levels did you surpass?
The furthest I got was the boss of the second level, but I got to there quite a few times, and then I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, oh, I'll check to see how long people usually take to get a third level. And I think it was about 12 hours in. I was like, the fuck? Yeah. Nah, I'm done.
Yeah, see, that was basically my experience too. I kept getting to the second level boss, and I kept dying over and over and over and over, and I would never ever ever find currency, so I could never buy stuff at the shop, and I could never ever ever find heart refills, so I would get to the last boss on the second level with half a bar of health and die immediately, and then start again and think, oh, maybe this time I'll try with a different character, and it repeated and repeated and repeated and repeated, and then I just stopped playing it after about 6 hours, and I can't say that I miss it.
Yeah, that's the curse of the roguelike. You can have as well crafted designs as you want, but if you're making me do the same fucking thing for 12 hours straight, I ain't gonna be doing it.
No, I'm with you on that.
Although
one.
It started more promising though than other roguelikes, I must admit. Like the first 2 hours or so that I was playing.
It's got a nice art style. It handles quite well. The shooting mechanics work well. It's got a good variety of enemies.
That was one of the things I was gonna say. The first few times when I'd done the boss, I was like, oh, it's a different boss at the end of each level. That's going to be a good way to like stop it from being too repetitive. And then 30 minutes later I found out there's only 3 bosses possible for each level. I was like, oh, well, I've done them all already.
Yeah, that was essentially how I felt too.
And again, it does the thing where there's like a premium currency. Not premium as in you pay real money, but like it's a harder to get currency. And it doesn't fucking unlock anything. It just gives a chance of the random number generated crap to show up in the level at some point that you might not even get to because you have to grind for 12 more hours to get to that point of the level.
Yeah, it hits really well for the first, like you say, for the first like 90 minutes to 2 hours. Yeah. And then it just massively fell off a cliff in terms of my interest of the game going forward.
Yeah, same. But that is what roguelikes are like with me most of the time.
Yeah.
I just don't see why you'd have a game like the scope of the game. What it feels like it's a small scope game that's really fun, and the roguelike is a way of just stretching it over for 50 hours and being like, we made a massive game. No, you didn't. It's a really small scope. The gameplay's the exact same from the first 20 minutes to the rest of the 12 hours to do the next level. So I think I would enjoy if Enter the Gungeon wasn't a roguelike and it was like a dungeon crawler maybe, where like progress saves and you have that. It would be really, really fun, I think. I'd have a blast with it.
Yeah, I just got more frustrated as time went on with it. That was my problem, because it has all the elements there to be a really great fun game, and then you die, and then you think, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And then you just lose sort of the will to carry on. Very frustrating.
Yeah, I imagine it would kind of be like West Dead, where if I had it installed still and there was ever a time where, say, I was going out somewhere once everything's back to normal, but Lucia had to do something for 20 minutes first, I'd be like, oh, I'll do a quick run.
Yeah.
It's a good time, like quick time killer, roguelikes, but never ones you can sink, for me personally, sink hours into at a time.
I think for me, I like playing roguelikes on the Series X because of quick resume. It makes it really easy.
Yeah.
To just jump straight back into where you were, play it for 20 minutes, and then turn it off, and then play another game, and then maybe in a few days, pick it back up. Yeah.
But there is a spin-off I found out that I hadn't heard of before I started looking into this, called Exit the Gungeon.
Oh, really?
I'm really curious to try, because it's a platformer-focused roguelike instead of bullet hell, apparently. I haven't seen any gameplay yet. I was just going off description. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that will play out. A platformer roguelike.
We'll have to check that out. Which it ties in quite well, actually, platforming, because the wild card, we sort of already had it picked, because last episode, 2 episodes ago, when we picked Enter the Gungeon to play, it was a tie between Enter the Gungeon and the game really that I actually really wanted to play, which is Cyber Shadow. So me and Shaun are going to be downloading Cyber Shadow. I'm downloading it now on the Game Pass app, actually, as we speak. And we're going to be playing Cyber Shadow, so you can find out what we thought of that in 2 weeks' time, because next week, me and Shaun will be talking about our games that we each picked for each other to play. What were you playing, Shaun?
Oh, bugger. I forgot. I know what game you're playing.
I'm playing...
Am I playing Katana Zero? No, I'm not.
No, you're playing Slay the Spire.
That was it, yeah. I've just gone on my Xbox app and seen that it's finished downloading.
And I'm playing Kato.
You're playing Kato, yeah.
Yeah. So, looking forward to giving Cyber Shadow a go. Apparently, it's really hard. Just to pre-warn you, Shaun.
And it's also I think it's just published by Yacht Club Games, which are the people that made Shovel Knight.
Yes, so should be good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Looking forward to it. Now, we are going to swiftly move on to other games that we've been playing. But Shaun, do you want to break the news as to what's happened?
Oh, it's another fucking sponsor fiasco, isn't it?
Yeah. What's happened, Shaun? Talk to me.
Twitter basically decided that they wasn't going to live up to their name of Twitter support and decided not to support us, so they pulled out. So we had to go looking for another sponsor again. And we did have one.
Who did we get? Because I tried to get hold of this company multiple times, but for some reason their phone was just like, it was either engaged or they might have been really busy maybe. Maybe they were so busy making new games that they didn't have time to talk to us. Who was it?
Well, I think they're on holiday, because when I tried to get hold of them, the answer message that was left was saying that the devs have gone for a break, but they'll be excited to get back to work as soon as their break's over. It was the Google Stadia development department.
Oh, fair enough. Because Google Stadia, remind me, what games did they make? Like their own fully published games. What games did Google Stadia actually make?
I think they made.
I think they made as many as us. There was
a game called Absolute Zero.
Right. Okay. Was that? Oh no. We actually made.
That was the
more
game count.
Games.
Sorry.
Yeah. So we actually made. So let me just get this right. We had more downloads for our game that we made than Google.
Yeah, we as developers with Curiosity made more games in less time with less money than Google.
I'd call that a success.
I'd say that's a win. I mean, fucking Paradise has got better reviews than Assassin's Creed Unity as well. I'm on a roll.
Yeah. Can you just remind the people what the hell we're talking about there, Shaun?
Paradise.
One thing, just as a prerequisite, is Shaun bums parrots.
I don't bum parrots, I just like birds. So I had like an aviary in that when I lived at my parents', and I was part of the I can't remember the
Society for the Protection of Birds.
Can't remember. It was actually it was like a charity thing for vultures, to protect vultures, because they're.
And you were part of the parrot club or something.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember what that was called either. It was. I know the park for it's called Parrot Paradise, and that's where I stole the name from.
Yeah.
So yeah, basically it was when I was first getting into coding, and it was when it was the XNA sort of framework thing for Xbox Live indie games. And I made this thing that is literally just it's not even a game, it's just information about different types of parrots, because I was like practicing coding, and then I put it all together and I was like, I wonder if I can somehow sneak this onto the Xbox. And I managed to sneak onto the Xbox. Forgot about it for a couple years. And then when we were doing the Curiosity stuff, I tried to find it, and it was still on the Microsoft Store, and had higher ratings overall than Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yes, it fucking did.
Oh, I can't believe it. That's my claim to fame. I beat Ubisoft.
Yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, if anyone's out there and they've got an Xbox 360 and they can travel back in time like 15 years, please check out Shaun's game and give it a 5-star.
I will see if I can find it ready for next episode as well.
Oh, man. I just wanted to stop the recording very quickly to make an announcement. As we're recording this, the real Sal Tyre on Twitter, don't know if you've just seen this, Shaun, has just tweeted us to say, just thought I'd pop back to this and say I've been listening to your episode 1 of your podcast. I haven't finished yet, so no spoilers, and I'm really enjoying it. You guys are really funny, and just thought I'd let you know. And then he's done like an emoji with some hands up. So thank you very much, Sal. We hope that you keep listening, because don't worry, it doesn't get better. And we'll hopefully hear from you soon.
Aww.
So should we just have like a general chit chat about what we've been playing?
Yes.
Because I've got some big news. I got some huge news. But Shaun, you talk through what you've been playing first.
Okay.
And then I'll tell my massive news.
It's
huge.
Well, first, I've got some news as well that's not related to something I've been playing, but something that I had played. I remembered the fucking name of that game from 2 episodes ago, where I was describing the humanoid with the floppy ears and the
humanoid with the floppy ears. Okay, what was that game?
It was called, bear me 2 seconds, I'm just loading it back up. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, there it is. Klonoa. So it was Klonoa. And there's...
Hey Google, show me Klonoa.
That could come up with all sorts if it mishears you.
What the fuck is that?
Can you see why I had trouble describing it?
That is the weirdest thing ever.
It's a humanoid with floppy ears, and then
he's got like hands for ears and red. He basically looks like Sonic if he did meth.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a
Wow.
really good game, really fun, and
Well, fair
apparently
enough,
they made several
Klonoa.
of them.
They made several of them.
Yeah, apparently it was
Jesus.
really popular. Apparently, I didn't even know.
So popular, in fact, that none of us could remember the name of it.
I mean, don't name it Klonoa if you want it to be memorable.
No. Well, there we go, Klonoa.
Finally
for anyone
remembered.
that gives a shit. I don't even think anybody from 2 episodes is even listening to this.
Probably not.
So,
I mean, we
nobody
did just
will
say
know what
we're
you're
more
talking
important
about.
than them.
yeah, basically, we're the only people that listen to this. So, well, and the real Sal Tyre as well. He listens.
Love you.
Love you. So, what else have you been playing, Shaun?
I've been playing Alan Wake again for
You have.
probably the 5th time now, which doesn't, I mean, it's been out for years, so that's probably not that much, but
Because you're not a spooky boy, are you?
no, that's why I love Alan Wake so much, because it was one of the first, I guess spooky-ish games. Yeah, one of the first spookies I experienced, and I loved. I just can't, I something about Alan Wake that I just love. So yeah, I'm playing through with my partner Lucia, because she's never played them. We played Quantum Break, because I was going through my back catalogue, and I
Yeah.
thought, oh, she'll like the story of that, because it's sort of half live action TV show, half game. So yeah, she enjoyed that, and I was like, well, you might like Alan Wake, because she likes horrors, which I absolutely hate. But yeah, we're playing through that at the moment, about halfway, I think.
There we go.
It's good fun.
Because it got taken off for quite some time, didn't it? Because they had some trouble with the licensed soundtrack. So it did, the same as Scott Pilgrim versus the World got taken off of the Xbox Live Arcade for the same reason. They lost their music license, and then nobody could play the game for 3 years. So it's great to see that it's back.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I wonder if it will do the frame rate boost.
Oh, that'd be nice.
I don't
Bit of Alan
support
Wake
that.
at 60 FPS. Yes, please.
I'll take them shadows.
That'll be very nice. Can I share my big news?
Yes, go on.
So when Duncan was on the podcast last, we talked about a segment that we wanted to do where we talk about the game that we've played the most. And Duncan's played one of his characters of World of Warcraft something like 10 years continuously non-stop. Now, I have finally, after 11 years, completed Skate 3.
11
Now,
years.
it's my original save file because it crosses over because of cloud saving from the 360, and I have finally sold 1 million boards, and I am so happy that I'm never going to play it again because I don't want to ruin that feeling.
Well, there's a new Skate
So-
game in development anyway, so you won't have to play it again.
There is a new Skate 4 coming out, but I just wanted to share the news that it took me 11 years to complete a skateboarding game, and I think it's huge news. I think everyone would be really excited about that.
I think everyone will be over the moon that you've taken 11 years to complete a game.
Yeah, it didn't take me 92 minutes to complete one fucking level though. So just learn to do a kickflip, you do it, job done.
Join us for episode 672 of Gamers Watch in 20 years' time, and Harry might be on level 3 of Desperados 3.
Yeah, possibly, maybe.
After
If I haven't
uninstalling
thrown
it.
my Series X out the fucking
After
window.
uninstalling it for the 500th time.
Yeah, I get a phone call from BT to say there's a weird bandwidth issue. You keep re-downloading that game. Yeah, so
Just shouting
I've
at
complete-
don't remind me!
yeah, stop telling me about it. It's a piece of shit. So yeah, I just wanted to share the news that Desperados 3 is shit and Skate 3 is amazing, and I've completed it after 11 years. So big up to Skateboard Harry.
11 years. How long do you think it'll take you to
11
complete
years.
Skate 4?
Ooh, well, if it's as good as Skate 3, then maybe another 11 years. Maybe by 2032, if it released now. I'm going to set myself 2040 to finish it.
Okay.
That's a
Safe bet.
solid. I'll set an alarm on my phone for 22:36 on the 23rd of February 2042.
Yeah, that's a lot of 20s.
Yeah, well, it's going to take me fucking ages.
It's going to take you 20 years.
Have you been playing anything else at all, Shaun?
No, I've been fully addicted to Sea of Thieves. I must admit, I'm loving it.
I've been playing Wreckfest.
Have you actually played it yet?
Yeah, man, it's so good.
I need to play it. That was the game I was most
did a-
excited about for the new wave of Game Pass games. I haven't fucking played
I
it.
did a destruction derby on a lawnmower. It was great.
I did not know those lawnmowers.
There's lawnmowers. The first level that you play is a stay on your lawnmower as long as possible. 50 lawnmowers in a field running into each other.
Oh man, that sounds amazing.
And I did another level that was a figure of 8, and you drive a sofa.
What?
Yeah, you drive a V8 powered sofa.
Okay.
An actual sofa. I'll send you a picture.
I genuinely can't picture that in my head.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me just stall for time while I try and send you a sofa car from... Oh, what was the game? Wreckfest.
Yeah, from the same people that made Flat Out, which is one of the best racing games of all time, because it's just pure chaos.
Oh my god, I've just...
What?
Oh, I've just found a picture of the sofa car and it is so funny. So yeah, for anyone who doesn't know what Wreckfest is, it's basically Destruction Derby, which was a PS1 game made by the same people that made Flat Out, but with HD 4K graphics. I've just sent the picture.
Oh my god, I could just see it.
Yeah,
it's got sofa so good written on it.
Yeah, man, it's so good, that. And yeah, it's basically just this really fun racing game, but the cars are all pieces of shit, so you don't care about smashing them up. So yeah, it's wicked fun. So do give it a download if you're listening to this and you've got Game Pass. It's really great.
This destruction physics and like how the cars crumple and it's so satisfying.
It really
is. Can your
now there is?
Can your driver go flying out the windshield?
Oh, sorry, carry on.
Can your driver go flying out the windshield like in Flat Out?
Yes, he can.
Oh, yes. I love that.
He can indeed.
So
I want to talk about a game very quickly. It's NieR Automata or NieR Automata. I don't know how to pronounce it.
NieR Automata.
It's a game that I've wanted to play for a while, that I've sort of seen and it looked quite good, and I never really thought much about it. And I thought, you know what, fuck it, it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a download. Now, I want to describe the genre of this game. And I was with Joe Granell, who we've already mentioned today. I was with him today talking about this game because he loves it, right? Now, first things first, there's 26 endings to this game.
26? Okay?
26 playthroughs to get 26 endings. Each playthrough is different and they follow on from each other.
So
right?
it's not like you could possibly get the same ending.
You could finish the game, right? You could finish the game in 10 hours, the credits would roll, and you would not know that you had to play it 25 more times.
Right.
Right. Now, I was trying to think what genre this game is. When it first starts, it's a twin-stick shooter that then turns into a platformer, that then turns into a hack and slash, that then turns into an RPG, that then turns into an action-adventure game, that then turns into a side-scroller, that then turns into a beat-em-up game, that then turns into a flight simulator, that then turns into a sort of... how do I even explain it? It then turns into like a combat simulator. I can't explain what this game is. And I've never been stuck when someone says, what genre is the game? And it's like 15 genres.
I'm pretty sure you've been stuck before. I'll have you remember that your review for Fractured Minds was fuck knows, mate. No idea.
Yeah, no idea, mate. Put it on the case. But I can't explain why I love this game so much. So the combat is hack and slash, but you've also got this little robot that flies around with you that can lock on and shoot enemies from a distance. And you've also got an AI character that also attacks enemies for you, but you can choose if he's defensive or attacking or aerial threat or counter-attacking. And then you get to these bosses and they're giant set plays, and you're saving humanity from aliens that are clones made from robots that are trying to take over the world, and you live on the moon, but you're also robots yourself. I'm sort of lost for words at how fantastic this game is.
So does the story actually make sense, though, with you saying about how you live on the moon and you're robots, but you're fighting other robots that are clones of aliens?
Yes, it does. No, the story does make sense, but it only makes sense if you play it. But I can't explain why you should play it other than you should play it, because it's got something for everybody. It's so good, and it looks amazing, and the soundtrack is phenomenal, and the characters have really good banter between them, and there's these weird twists, and there's this just one level on its own, which is the ballerina scene I talked about previously. And yeah, please play it. It's really good. So Shaun, I know that I've already told you to play 2 games, but you need to put that on your back catalogue. You need to play NieR Automata. It's so good.
It's on my bugger, what's it called? On the Xbox Game Pass app, the Play Later playlist.
Yeah,
it is on there.
Yeah, genuinely, it's brilliant. So I just want to sort of mention NieR Automata because I'm having the best time with it, but I don't know why. Because it just is a mishmash of so many things, and it just works perfectly.
So the one thing I want to ask about, though, is the 26 playthroughs. Is each playthrough a completely different character sort of thing? Or is it sometimes you play as the same character?
You sometimes play as the same character. You sometimes don't. each playthrough has different endings that then affect the next playthrough.
So is the sort of basic story of each playthrough like the same up until a certain point, sort of thing?
Up until a certain point, and then it deviates. Yeah.
Right.
So you play like the first 6 hours 26 times, and it's very similar, and then it completely deviates.
Right.
It is really hard to explain. It's just one of the most unique gaming experiences that I've had, and I can't quite explain why I like it so much, but I do. I love it. It's great.
I'm gonna have to give it a go, I think.
And it's a really easy game to dip into for a few hours at a time as well. So you don't need to like set yourself like 10 hours to play it. You can just play it for like an hour and get somewhere, and then just sort of keep coming back to it in little tiny increments. Yeah. Or you could sit down and play it for like 10 hours and be like, whoa, my god. Because the first time I played it was for like 5 hours straight, and I could not put the controller down.
Right.
So yeah, very good.
I'll have to give it a download.
Do give it a download. We need to wrap the show up. However, you told your clown story in the last episode.
Yeah, my clown spider story.
Something happened to me the other day, and it was so ridiculous that the first thing I had to do was ask my partner Shannon permission to tell the story on the podcast.
Right.
And then the second thing I had to do was quickly message you on Discord and say, oh my god, I need to talk about Shannon's trousers.
You didn't even say that. I just got a notification of a message saying, Shannon's trousers, ! I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so I want to set the scene, right? So Shannon's had a COVID jab last week, her first jab,
yeah,
right? She's feeling a bit weird with it because it's a mRNA vaccine. I'm not going to listen to anybody say that this vaccine is rushed. If you think this vaccine's rushed, you're an idiot, and you shut up and listen to actual scientists, right? So she's had her jab, and she was just feeling a bit sort of swimmy, which, to be fair, when she gets the flu jab, she feels the same. Now, our house is a bit of a madhouse, so we've got 2 dogs. We've got a pug and a rescue cockapoo who's a fucking nutter. We've got me and Shannon.
Who are fucking nutters.
We've got who are fucking nutters. We've got our little son Theodore, who is turning into a little nutter. And we've also got our housemate Lauren. So we've got quite a busy house, but it works perfectly and it's great. Now, the pug sleeps downstairs in the living room, and we obviously sleep upstairs in our bedroom with our dog, and our baby sleeps in the bedroom next to us. And usually about sort of 6 o'clock, he starts crying. We bring him in to the bed while I'm getting ready to get up for work, and he has like a couple of hours of cuddles with his mum. Right. Now, really weirdly, this one day, I wake up and I see Shannon getting back into bed at like 6 in the morning. Theo's not in the bed, and then our pug just randomly appears from nowhere. But we keep him in the living room, locked in the living room. And I'm really confused, and I hear him snuffling, running up the stairs, and I catch him as he jumps. So he doesn't even get onto the bed. I bolt upright, I catch him, I take him back downstairs, and I notice there's some like clothes on the stairs that weren't there in the evening when we went up. Bit weird, thought nothing of it. Anyway, I'm at work. It's about 8 o'clock. Shannon wakes up. She messages me, do you know where my trousers are? Because I'm really cold. And I was like, I have absolutely no idea. I'm at work. What are you talking about? She said, well, I don't know where my pajama bottoms are. She said, I went to bed in them last night and I don't know where they are. And I was like, well, they're probably just in the bedroom somewhere. I don't know. So she goes down about half an hour later to let the dogs out to the toilet, and her trousers are on the stairs. And then I message her and I say, well, you got back in bed at like 6 in the morning, 30 seconds before the dog jumped on the bed. She doesn't remember that. She does not remember getting out of bed, going downstairs, and then coming back upstairs. And so we've put things together, right? So this is what actually happened at 6 in the morning. Shannon heard our baby crying, and she did get Theo, and she brought him into bed. So Theo was in our bed when the pug ran upstairs. However, she put Theo in our bed, and then she walked downstairs, took off her trousers,
right,
threw them on the floor, and opened the living room door, and then ran upstairs and got in bed and let the pug out for some reason.
What?
However, she has no memory of doing that. No memory. So she sleep stripped. I've never heard of anyone sleep stripping before.
No, I can't say I have either.
Because she thought that I took her trousers and put them on the stairs. She was like, why did you put my trousers on the stairs? And I was like, why would I put your trousers on the stairs?
Halfway down the stairs after getting changed for work and went, fuck, these aren't my trousers.
Yeah. Oh, these are way too small.
My man's just going to kill me if I turn up in a skirt.
Yeah. And I'm wearing her fucking thongs.
I'll
Christ.
keep them on,
So
though.
So yeah, we sort of, between the two of us over the space of like half an hour, we sort of pieced all the puzzles together. And for some reason, her brain got our son out of his cot, brought him into bed. She went downstairs, took her trousers off, let the dog out of the living room, and then ran upstairs and jumped in bed.
I wonder if it was like a genuine like sleepwalk, or if like when you're like half asleep and you still go foggy.
No, so she was not anywhere near conscious.
Right.
Anywhere. Because occasionally she sleep talks to me and she doesn't remember any of it. So it's not like a bit foggy. Like sometimes she will just wake up, bolt upright in the middle of the night and be like, the ham's gone off, and then go back to sleep. Or she'll just be saying homemade beef for like no reason whatsoever. Right? So we know that she was asleep. And she slept stripped while walking down the stairs to let our dog out for no reason. And we basically think it's because her brain was a little bit mush because of the jab. And to be fair, she didn't react particularly well to it. She did get quite asthmatic, and she did sort of get a bit wheezy with it, and she felt a bit like sort of swimmy, and her head was a little bit weird. So we've sort of deduced the fact that that's probably what caused it. So the worst side effect of Shannon getting the vaccine is that she sleep stripped for some reason. And I had to share it, but Shannon did say it was okay for me.
What you need to do? Does Theo have one of those like baby monitor camera things?
No, he doesn't. But it would be funny.
I was gonna say when she
one.
has the second dose of it, just put it in your room instead, and just watch to see what actually happens.
No, that would terrify me, because what if she like stood over me or something, or she was like pulling at my hair, or then what if she like beat me in my sleep?
Well,
and I
you'd
didn't
have
know.
bruises.
Nah, I wouldn't like that. Well, not if she used an orange and a sock. You don't get bruises that way. Prison
it would
rules,
be.
That is.
Okay. Yeah. I was now picturing it.
I wouldn't want to know if she.
Yeah, I was now picturing it like if it was in my shoes and like I set it up so we could watch.
Would you want to watch a video of Lucia waking up in the middle of the night, just walking around, completely unconscious, going downstairs and then taking her trousers off?
That's what I was picturing in my head. No, I was picturing the what if she just stands and stares at you bit. That would creep me out.
Oh my god.
Although knowing Lucia, she would sit up, fart, and then lay back down. That is the extent of what it would be.
Do you want me to edit that bit out?
No, she knows it. She knows what she does.
Man, you know what? I think we're going to have to leave it there so that you don't dig yourself any further in the grave.
Tune in next week when I have a sore throat from being slapped in the... chopped in the throat.
Yeah, slapped in the throat, yeah. Oh, well, what a time we live in when COVID jabs make people sleep strip, hey?
And let
they
pugs
don't put
out.
that on the back of the packet, do
Warning side effects include sleep stripping and letting the pug out.
Yeah. Who let the dogs out? The COVID jab.
It's better than American medicine where they're like, oh, look, this tablet lowers your cholesterol. Warning side effect may include high cholesterol.
Cause death. Oh my god, that was was it you that said that?
Yeah, it was I think was you there? It was when we were watching an NFL game. Or I said to you about it, and then the next week it came on again.
It was the playoffs. We were watching the playoffs, and then it came up. It was a medication for high cholesterol, and the side effect was may cause high cholesterol. And there was another one that could cause death.
It could cause death, and all it was for was athlete's foot.
Yeah.
Don't fuck me. I'll just stick with the athlete's foot, thanks.
Yeah, I'll have a bit of an itchy toe, thank you. Don't fancy dying.
Don't want to be 6 feet under.
Oh, no. Well, thank you very much for everybody for sticking with us this far. We do hope that the new episode format of shorter podcasts every week has worked out. If there's anything you want us to include in the next recordings, do let us know, because we are always happy to talk to people on social media, to interact with our fans, and just to really get like constructive criticism, because we're still working, we're still evolving. Every episode we do is like a learning experience, as we found out on the last episode, because every single time I talk, it came through Shaun's audio. So now I've got a fun couple of hours of isolating every time he says a word, which will be fun, won't it, Shaun?
You can join me while I'm sat at the computer for hours doing the promo posts.
Yup. Don't do too many though, because we might get banned again.
Spamgate 2021. Fuck Twitter.
Spamgate 2021.
Give us our account back.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, give us our fucking account back, or we'll just keep making them over and over again, continuously. Circumventing the ban is against your terms of services, and guess what, Twitter? We're fucking doing it anyway. Oh, it just went silent, Shaun.
Yeah.
You still there?
It just went silent as well, so I thought I'd just wait and picture that being the end of the podcast.
Cheers. What a great ending to the
Just
podcast.
goes to like
that
a
is.
long beep.
Yeah, we've been cancelled. We're done. So thank you again, and we hope to hear from you soon.
See you later.
Cheers. Bye.